What's up, everyone? It's Gray, aka the Hokage, and we're doing the RWBY Volume 7, Episode 11 review because my live reaction got copyright striked twice. I recorded it, I edited it, a decent amount of editing goes into that, and it got copyright striked. I believe the end of the Ironwood fight had like a song or something. So I tried to cut that whole part like I did with my Hero Academia reaction. And then I got copyright striked again. So that's never going to see the light of day. There's no point. I'm just going to talk about everything. If anything, this is probably going to be a better video than that was. I'm trying to keep it shorter. And, oh, hold on. I'm going to cut real quick. I'm back. I had to grab something, which you'll see in just a second. But, really quick, I actually talked about it in my last video, but I'm going to talk about it again because that video doesn't exist, so why wouldn't I? My background with RWBY is I've been following it ever since it came out. I remember when the original Red trailer aired on roosterteeth.com, or not even roosterteeth.com. Well, it might have been on roosterteeth.com. I just saw it on YouTube, and I was like, wow, that's kind of strange. This is not Red versus Blue. Rooster Teeth's almost always stuck with comedy stuff, so this was a really big departure. Really interesting one. And I watched it as it aired. And I've been with it ever since. Every volume I've watched pretty much as they've come out. Weiss is my favorite character. I'm a pretty big RWBY fan, but I'm not a die-hard RWBY fan. Like, I don't own like a Yang body pillow or some weird shit like that. So, also, real quick, before I get off on a huge tangent, with the changes coming to YouTube, apparently it's better to not be a child-friendly channel, as those are less susceptible to random, like, demonetizations and bans. So I am going to be swearing unless something changes. So just letting you all know that if you're a child, don't watch my content. So yeah, so I've been with RWBY for a long time. I do care about it. I see it for its flaws, I think, and I watch it for, you know, it's entertaining. It's fun. So this episode, so overall, volume 7 so far, I think, has been one of the strongest volumes in the show. All the characters have had good development, at least all the characters that I care about. I thought the villains were great. I think Watts and Tyrion are the most efficient villain combinations that we've had for a really long time. So yeah, so far it's really good, and this episode is no different. Ironwood, it starts off with Ironwood fighting Watts, which I think was the best fight of the volume so far. It used the environment extremely well. I thought it was a really, really cool showing of their different skill sets. I was confused originally because there was like counting down. Turns out I think they're counting bullets. I'm still not positive, but I'm pretty confident. My hat's like crooked, sorry. I'm pretty confident they're counting up bullets, which I wish that was a little more clear, but it's not a huge deal. The whole like drag Ironwood tearing the freaking flesh off of his arm was awesome, and holding him off the fire was super cool. All of that was great. The music was awesome. So A+ fight there. Just good shit all around. Then we immediately go over to Tyrion. Obviously, Tyrion's fighting. He's sorry, I'm like moving. I have like moving ADHD. Whatever. Who cares? We cut to Tyrion. He's fighting Crow. I'm forgetting the guy's name. Clover. Clover's his name. Clover, because Lucky. Clover and Crow were there, and then oh my God, how am I forgetting? Robin, of course. Robin. How could I forget? Robin. She's an okay, whatever. But that fight pretty much goes how you expect. Tyrion just kind of loses because he's against 3. Assuming, at least we know 2 incredibly skilled huntsmen, and assuming Robin's skilled. Yeah, so. However, we also learn that, at least from, well, we don't learn, but I think he was taken way too easily. And especially because, well, we'll get to that later. But basically, I'm pretty convinced this was not against the plan. So that's unfortunate because Tyrion's not someone you want running rampant in like an Atlas. So we'll see what that gets there. So Ironwood goes back. His arm's like in a cast. He goes back to his office and he sees something and then it cuts away. And I was like, God damn it! But we learned what he saw. We see a glass chess piece that similar to Volume 3, I think is when Cinder left that right before the fall of Beacon. Yeah, so he is like freaking out, respectively. He's like, "Oh my god, this is all part of the plan. Like none of this matters." Uh, Ruby, like Team Ruby's there. They're like, "Hey man, calm down. It's gonna be all right. We have each other. You know, if we're all united, we can't fall, right?" But the Watts' bag opens. There's one of those like floaty head tentacle grim that killed Lionheart, and it's like, and then it like dies, and then a Mirage of Salem shows up, which is one of the best scenes in the whole episode. I don't give RWBY a lot of credit for its villains typically, just because a lot of them I think are fairly weak, but Salem is good. She's very threatening whenever she's on screen. She has a very imposing presence about her, so really good job there. And basically she's like, "Ironwood, you dumb bitch, you played right into my hands. So I'm gonna show up." She said her, so I think this might be a bluff, but she did say she was coming with like an army of Grimm, and they're gonna fuck up Mantle and Atlas more. And Ironwood's like, "That's not good." And then Ruby's like, "If we're together, you can't defeat us." That's my best RWBY impression. I think it's pretty good. And she's like, "Wow, that's exactly what your mom said." And then dude, RWBY just gets owned and just like breaks down and starts crying, which admittedly I didn't love, just because, at least maybe I'm forgetting, but I've never seen RWBY react that strongly about her mom before. So I don't really know exactly what that was about. Basically, she breaks down. You know, it's over. And then Ironwood's like, "So yeah, we're gonna do a martial law, and we're gonna take Atlas, and we're gonna go to the sky." And Team RWBY's obviously like, "Bro, that's not only is that crazy, you're gonna leave like all of Mantle to die." So, and they're like, and Ironwood's like, "Saved as many as we could." And here's the thing. I don't agree with Ironwood's plan, but I do agree that trying to save everyone at this point just doesn't make any sense as like a person in power standpoint. Because like, if you know a bigger army is coming and you just barely was able to fend off the first one, then it doesn't, and especially because Salem planned for that, like you gotta try and do something. Both I think are wrong. I don't like Ironwood's plan of just like hiding in the atmosphere. That doesn't make any sense. That seems whack as hell to me. But like, what are they gonna do? That's what he wants to do. It's what he wants to do. And then RWBY like gets a phone call from Jean, who's like, "Hey, we have a situation and no one cares." RWBY's just like, "Yeah, that situation's not as important as mine." And she like gets her phone. She's like, "Ironwood's declaring martial law. He's gonna ban the Mantle. We're going to Atlas." And Crow and Robin hear this, and they like look at Clover, and it's like one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode. Because Clover's like, "Oh shit, so that's what's gonna happen, huh?" And Tyrion's like right there, just tied up. So I'm worried that a fight's gonna break out between those three, and then Tyrion's going to use that advantage advantage. Well, I guess it would be opportunity to escape. So yeah, yikes there. And then we see no one asked John what his problem was, because F John, I guess. But he's there with Nora and Ren, and they're seeing a bunch of robots where Oscar. So Oscar was taken by Neo, assumingly Neo and Cinder, and he had the relic. We see Penny and Winter in the basement where they're keeping the Winter Maiden. So I guess they really are going forward with that plan to give Winter the Maiden powers, which I think is a good idea, because if Winter doesn't get them soon, Cinder's gonna get them. So good on them to give Winter those, and that's pretty much. Oh, Ironwood's like, he calls out Blake and Yang because he's like, "You leaked the information to Robin," and they're like, "Yeah, but they're on our side." And he's like, "That's irresponsible, and you betrayed my trust," which is true. And then he called out RWBY for keeping secrets, which is also true. And then he puts them under arrest and leaves. And they're like, "You're not going to arrest us." And the rest of the Aesops are there, and they're like, "Well, I mean, we're going to." And that's kind of what the episode leaves off on. So as I said, overall, it was an awesome episode. I am really excited. Once again, just like last episode, I'm really excited to see what happens. I feel there's no way we're wrapping up all this season or this volume. So I definitely think that this is going to extend, and we're probably going to get a really juicy cliffhanger, and it's going to piss me off. But what are you going to do? I just watch the show and talk about it. So yeah, as I said, overall, great. I liked it. I didn't really have too many problems at all, really. Normally I have at least like a couple complaints, but this one was pretty on brand. So if Volume 7 is Team RWBY finding their stride, I don't mean Team RWBY as in like the characters, I mean like the development team behind Team RWBY. It seems like they've really found their stride here, and I just hope that they can continue to do so. Okay, one real quick. I don't like Cinder. I never have liked Cinder. I think she's a really boring character, and blah, 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 and I still do. So I'm not excited to see more of her, but I like Neo. So, you know, double-edged sword, I guess. Rip Roman, best character in the show. But that does it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more RWBY content. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a shorter video than this, probably, because manga chapters are much shorter. Talking about the new Boku no Hero chapter, which was a pretty good one. So yeah, that's the coming up next. So subscribe and like the video if you want to see that. And just do it if you don't want to see that, because I'll do lots of other manga content and anime, and RWBY's an anime, right? Technically, that's what they call it. I don't know. Who cares? I'll do all that too. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Have a nice day. I never know how to end videos.